Today is July 6th. The Pirates' pitching scoreless inning streak ended in the first inning of this series, and then the offense started one of their own. 27 already. Let's talk about this and a lot more loaded show today. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh, and I'm joined as always by my brother Jake. What's up, Jake?
4th of July fireworks, bud.
I heard some of that. Let's try again.
You heard some of it?
It was a internet glitch.
Oh, 4th of July fireworks, bud. How many did you get to watch?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
It was 4th of July weekend. There were fireworks. Did you watch any?
Oh, yeah, we did. Sorry. I didn't realize that was like a thing we cared about. You caught me off guard.
American?
I don't care about fireworks.
Yeah. Boom booms.
No,
America.
Doesn't do it for me, man. Don't care. We did go see them, but it's like, sure.
I like fireworks. Did not get to watch any this year. Saw zero fireworks.
Wish I could have traded with you. That might have made this conversation a little better.
Hey, at least I got the hat, man.
Yeah. Martin likes the hat.
Early birthday gift from the aunt and uncle. Good times. Went to the game. We went to the game. It was Saturday. And I was looking at this hat and I was considering buying it. Glad I didn't.
Yeah, last Saturday. Yeah. Not yesterday. I got you.
No.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey,
sorry,
we're not on the same page. This is a great,
it's all right.
Yeah,
we're good.
We're going to get there. A lot of fun things to talk about. I say fun pretty loosely, Jake. Pretty loosely. Because as good as the vibes were on Friday morning, I think they've kind of taken a little bit of a turn, don't you think?
I think so. I think I was on Twitter. I saw Jim Rosati posted on there all the momentum, all the fun, all the good times are about to be just squashed in one series. Very paraphrased. He worded it way better than that. It is just so true. Just so true. Like, you go from the highest to highest 6 straight, a sweep where you don't give up a single run, outscoring opponents was at 40 something to 7 or something like that in the 6 games. Just incredible.
Yeah. It's now just a great homestand.
Yeah.
Looking back, you know what I mean?
Wasn't a good turnaround. It wasn't anything. It was just a good homestand, a great homestand.
And I think what's frustrating about it is, Friday got away from you a little bit. 6-0 was the score, but really 3 swings, right? Covered for most of those 6 runs, or all of them, or maybe there was, I guess, one more after that. But, when you lose Saturday and Sunday 1-0, both games 1-0 combined, 2 runs you still gave up, which is still fantastic on the pitching side, and you can't even muster up a run. Now, it's important to say that we did face 3 really good pitchers this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Really A pitchers.
Elite pitchers.
So there is something there, but they didn't pitch all 27 innings.
Right.
But you could talk about all 3 starters, and you could talk about Munoz in the back end, phenomenal. Right? And so
he's filthy.
There is something there, and they have some good pitching, and they have, but that's still 27 consecutive. You've got to come up with something, and there were opportunities in there that we left that we left on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
As Rob says, lowest scoring team in the NL right now. Hey, just want to take an opportunity here early. We've got the 1919 back, Jake.
Nice.
Opened a keg up yesterday. 1919 root beer.
I got Barks today.
Okay, so both got root beer. It's been a while since we both had root beer.
Yeah, here you go.
But we opened up one of those pony kegs yesterday, hanging out with some friends, and so I've got some of it left, and got some here. Not quite as it's already starting to go a little bit flat. I think this one might go pretty quick because it's not going to have much life in it. But Martin says these games have been close. The team has playoff level pitching. Would be winning these games if Ben Cherington had signed the right 2 bats. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. Yep.
And Miles says, thanks for acknowledging the opponent pitching staff. So if we relish in what the Pirates throw up over and over again, you have to at least tip the cap when due. So, I mean, that's the thing is,
yeah,
you do have to tip the cap. Like I said, very good starting pitching. We knew this was going to be a battle. And when you have a guy like Mike Burrows who answers the call, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, he walked 4, but like 3 of those were in his 5th inning, and he was able to escape out of that jam. 6 strikeouts. Like, he answered the call and pitched very well. Bailey Falter did not, and that game got away from you a little bit. And then, but the last 2 days, just fantastic. And what Carmen Majinski did in Sunday's game, today's game, was also very good. I know he gave up the solo homer, but you had to score 1 to even have a chance to win anyway. So I'm never mad at the first run.
Right.
I'm never mad at it because you'd still be playing if the offense could have at least scored 1.
Yeah. Just take Zach Wheeler's start. Is it today or yesterday? But he throws a complete game, gave up 1 hit. It was a homer.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's a solo homer, and it was the first run of the game.
Sure. I mean, you just got to be able to do it. So let's just go ahead and say it. It's MLB history. Hold on.
Yay,
Hold on a second. I got to play it.
Another little piece of history.
That's not the clip I thought you were going to go with.
First team to shut out a team for a 3-game series and then be shut out in the very next 3-game series. So that's it. The first team in Major League history. And we were watching this. As soon as there was 2 shutouts, everybody looked this stat up. Everybody who knows how to look this stat up, looked this stat up. So, yeah. So Martin says that they should have brought Burrows back out for the 6th last night, which is a really interesting take because, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about that in today's game and Sunday's game, but Burrows walked 3 guys in the 5th inning. I'm not really sure about bringing him back out in the 6th. Like, that was a tough inning, that 5th. And so I don't know. And he hasn't up there. Beat me to it, Miles. He hasn't thrown that many pitches this year. That was a season high for him. And so I don't know about Burrows. But that's more of kind of the same thing though, Jake, is something that we've been seeing. Maybe we should work our way in. First off, let's also say Bailey Falter got tagged. Cal Raleigh got him, and Cal Raleigh's awesome.
Cal Raleigh's getting a lot of people this year.
Yeah. 35 home runs now. Ridiculous.
Just insane. Yeah. You know, I'm going to take a sidebar I know you should be the one taking this sidebar. I didn't love to see it. I'll be honest. I don't love to see him get to 35 before the All-Star break. I kind of wanted Junior to hold that. 33 was Junior's best mark before the All-Star break.
Yep.
I don't love to see that go away. But, I mean, at the end of the day, kudos to Cal Raleigh. But
here's what I'll say. Records are meant to be broken.
100%.
And really not, I mean, that's a record, but like not a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is. It's a mark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. I almost wore my Junior shirt today, but I thought, maybe if we'd have won the series, I'd have been doing that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's fine. That's a good call out. Sorry. Back on.
You're good.
So let's talk today because Paul Skenes was taken out after 5 innings. And, oh, wait, what is this? Rob says, what would Raleigh have if he played somewhere else?
A different uniform. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that stadium is necessarily super homer friendly. And he's a switch hitter, so he's going both sides. Like he's not, you know what I mean? If it favors one side or the other, he's hitting them from both sides. And that first home run he hit off Bailey Falter was the hardest and furthest home run he's hit all year. So that's a no doubter to the upper deck. So yeah. Sherrod said the way the pitching was managed is not the issue. That's actually a good point too. And just to say, like, we still only gave up 1 run in that game.
Yeah.
And so ultimately 1 run is 1 run and you're never mad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's another good point is like, we could pick at the 1 run that was scored but it's not like we would have had a run to do anything with. If we'd have had 2 and they would have given up 2 runs, you could pick maybe at saying like, well, we could have prevented the second run but yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good point to say like, that's not the issue here. And you can't be. Cheryl asked, would we have bunted with Key in the 8th inning today? Was that his pinch hit or was that his second at bat?
His pinch hit for Horwitz. Horwitz was coming up. They brought in a lefty.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have bunted there. I mean,
I don't think so
if
either.
I'm pinch hitting with Key Brian Hayes, if my mindset, first off, I'll put my, if I put my mindset in the fact that I'm pinch hitting for Horwitz, I mean, I would have just bunted with Horwitz if that was the case.
Yeah.
If I was gonna bunt, right, I'm just bunting with Horwitz rather than Hayes. Yeah, after the leadoff hit. Okay. So no, I don't think so. You're down 1 run. I understand trying to get that run back, but I think
as much as I enjoy a good bunt and everything, I just think bunting's dead, man. I just don't think it's
not in Donnie ball. There are times that I'm good with bunting, and I'll tell you this: like, there are times it's to me it's less trying to get a guy to second.
I'm more in that situation. I'm more upset that they didn't try to get IKF on the run.
Sure.
Try to move him to second without that, because you get him in scoring position and you got Key up. I'm in. Now Key's gonna hit the ball. He's money with runners in scoring position this year.
Right. Yeah.
So just
I talked about that.
IKF on the move.
I talked about that on one of the daily shows this week, and how his numbers are. If we had more guys in scoring position, I think our conversation about the kind of season Key Brian's having would be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the most at bats with runners in scoring position on the team, or at least one of the like top 3, and he's hitting over 300 in that situation. And when there's not runners in scoring position, it's bad.
It's terrible.
So no, get him on the run's it's a really good thought though. I don't know if I'm doing that though. You have a leadoff guy on, you've got a guy like, if it was Cruz, 100%. I'm not sure IKF is the guy right there. I mean, Cal Raleigh's also a really good catcher.
Yeah.
No, Mitch Garver was catching today. Raleigh was DH today.
Okay, gotcha.
Day game after. Yeah, that makes sense.
Still like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just that would have been my call. I would have tried to put the runner in motion. That's just where I would have went.
I get that.
Bunting to second doesn't
even a hit and run, right?
Yeah, something.
The way Hayes goes to right field is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And can take an inside pitch and hit it to right field. If you vacate second base, I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you hit it.
Right.
Or the second base position, I mean,
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just think, in that situation, if IKF leads off with a double, I think I could be on board there.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
could be on board to try to tie the game as late as the 8th inning. Before that, if it's even the 7th inning, I don't like it because you may increase your probability of scoring that runner that was on second. Like you may, by bunting IKF to third, you may increase your probability to score IKF, but you drastically decrease your ability to score 2 runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that to me is why I like bunting a lot less unless it's very late and you need 1 run to keep playing, or if you're the home team and 1 run wins the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm the away team, I don't like it as much. If I'm the home team and I can win by bunting a guy to third and I only need 1 run, then yes, I will play for 1 run. Otherwise, I'm playing for 2 and I got Ke'Bryan Hayes up against the lefty. And I think if you're pinch hitting for him, I think that's the way I would go. Good question though, because Donnie has bunted a lot in scenarios like that. All right, so let's talk about Paul Skenes because he only goes 5 innings in this game and he only throws 78 pitches. His line was 5 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no walks, Jake, and 10 strikeouts. You had 10 strikeouts and only at 78 pitches. He's got a 6th inning in him.
100%. 100%, especially in a 0-0 ball game.
0-0. First inning was the struggle inning. That was the inning that kind of piled on him. And then after that, great.
Yeah.
Struck out 3 in the 2nd, struck out 3 in the 5th. Struck out the side in the 5th, right? I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
4th or 5th. Either way, you've got an opportunity when you've gotten shut out the last 2 games. You're getting shut out in the first 5 innings of this one. Majinski did a good job. I'm not mad about 1 run. We already talked about this. Majinski did a good job. This isn't even anything about Majinski. Hindsight is 2020. What Donnie Kelly did today by removing Paul Skenes in the 5th and going to his bullpen essentially worked, right?
Yeah.
If you're talking in hindsight, it worked because you only gave up 1 run.
And you only technically, you can say we used 3 pitchers, but he threw 3 pitches.
Cabrera, yeah.
You basically only used 2 pitchers.
Right.
So, that's a really good job by both pitchers.
Specifically Majinski in that role, I'll say. You know what I mean? Obviously, Skenes did great, obviously.
Yeah.
But the fact that Majinski was able to come out there and be effective for 2 2/3 is a big deal. And so, like I said, I'll say hindsight is that it worked what they did today. But in the moment, let's talk about, because there's going to be a lot of people like, why 5 innings? Why not go after that quality start? If you're looking at individual things, right? You know me, I don't care about wins and losses for an individual pitcher. I could care, however that phrase works.
You couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less. Like I care at the very bottom of it. Like when I do things, I try not to even put that stat on there. I've said this before. The only time it matters is once you get to 20. If you get to 20 wins, that's really impressive. If you get to 20 losses, that's really impressive. Opposite type of impressive, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Impressive. And so then I'll pay attention, to say that's a nod. That's a big deal being a 20-game winner.
Yeah.
Until then, I don't care. I just don't. We're 9-10 when Skenes pitches. That's our record when Skenes pitches, and that's what I care about. So let's talk about what Don Kelly said afterwards. He's in the top 5 in innings pitched in the big leagues. And this is paraphrased. And we talked about finding ways to manage that with him and for him. We want him for the full season, and we want to make sure he's in a good spot. The first thing I'll say about this, and then I know you have some thoughts on this. The first thing I'll say about this is there's a lot of people out there who like to say that Paul Skenes ain't going long enough. And I think the one thing you have to realize in that quote is the fact that he's in the top 5 in MLB in innings pitched. He's going long enough. And yes, there have been some shorter outings more recently, and we haven't seen multiple complete games, shutouts, things of that nature that we used to see.
Yeah.
But the truth is, he is pitching deeper into games than a lot of guys.
Right.
So it's always important to look at what everyone else is doing to see how you feel about what he's doing. So the narrative of Paul Skenes needs to learn how to be more efficient because he's not pitching enough innings can't be true if he's in the top of the league in innings pitched. So let's talk about him coming out of the game and the fact that, I mean, this is clear, right? We're watching his innings. So what are we looking at?
I mean, you're looking at he's got 116 innings pitched right now through 19 games. What do we say? 30? He'll probably have 33 starts.
Let's go with 33.
We'll go with 33.
If he's there for a full season, like DK said.
Yeah. So 33 starts. If he averages 6 innings per start the rest of the year, so that's 14 more starts, he'll be right at 200 innings.
If he averages 6 innings a start.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 200. Obviously, Paul Skenes is going to say what Paul Skenes is going to say. I'm conditioned to go 240. Everybody knew he wasn't going 240.
Can you do me a solid real quick?
What?
Can you go solo for like 2 minutes? I think my dog's destroying something, and I'm going to put her in her crate. I hear a lot of loud noises, and it doesn't sound good. Yeah. I'll be right back.
I don't know if this camera angle works. Yeah, it works. It's fine, I guess. You still heard him. You all heard him throw his headset down. I'm going to keep up we're just going to look at his hats. That way we know when he's back. Okay, so the thing is, 200 innings, this all really needs to be Jake sitting here, right? He needs to be sitting here to have this conversation, and here we are. But let's take a look at the chat for a second, because Cheryl says, saw an interview with Paul before the game saying that it was going to be a lighter start. Martin says he knew that it was limited today before he started. So I think he went for more strikeouts more than trying to go longer. That's actually a really good point, because we've seen him in a lot of starts kind of not go for strikeouts to try to go longer into the game. And the thing is, though, is it's not like his pitch count got really high. The fact that he didn't walk anybody was why his pitch count didn't go high, and he was able to get a lot of strikeouts. I agree that he was going for more strikeouts, but 78 pitches doesn't even get you to the point where you have to come out yet. Bucko Mike says he'll be shut down at the end of August. He says 30. I don't see. And Martin says the joy of a live podcast. I love it. My dogs are destroying something. It'd have been better if he left his mic hot and we heard him yelling at the dogs or something. He's back. Oh, he did mute.
Jeez.
So I was like, it'd be good if he left it hot and we was just yelling at him.
Jeez. She's a terrorist, man.
So Bucko Mike says he'll be shut down at the end of August. So he says 30 starts.
I don't think he'll be shut down.
I don't think so either. I think the plan here is to have him, and that's the whole DK plan. That's the whole thing, that we want him for the full season. So anyway, let's go back. Let me ask you this. We'll just pick up right where we left off. I just looked at some of the comments here, so he did know ahead of time that this was going to be a shorter. According to, I didn't quite hear that. I know I listened to the Donnie Kelly one. I did not listen to the Paul Skenes interview afterwards. So that's understandable. So if we're limiting innings and we're trying to say, so you said if he goes and averages 6 innings for 32 starts. So let's say 33 starts. So let's say if it's a little bit less than that, let's go like 190 to 200. Let's say if he goes all of his starts, he's going to be somewhere between 190 and 200. Is that where their mark is my question? Or do you think that mark might actually be a little lower than that, considering the fact that he had 133 innings in the majors, 27 innings. So he's around 160 innings last year, right? And you know how they do this. You know how they continue to move up until it's just full rains. Is this a full rain season, or does it seem like no, it's not? They're actually,
we talked about this before we got on, and I was just like, no, he's full. Just let him go. He's fine, and he is. I truly believe that he said before the season that he's conditioned to go 240, and I believe that he could have went 240.
No, I don't.
I believe that they would have let him go. Not 240, but they would have let him go whatever he needed to go if we were winning. With this season going the way it's going, I'm kind of second guessing what you and I talked about beforehand, and I'm a little more okay with it. But if we were in the division, like if we were 2 in the division, and close to being, you let him pitch, man.
Yeah, Bucko Mike says, why pitch Skenes in games that don't mean anything?
And that's fair. It is, but you let him pitch because he needs to.
I think that's the thing. I think as you're progressing, I would have imagined 160 innings last year. I mean, I forget what it was. I mean, 6 innings the year before that, right? I mean, and then whatever he did in LSU, but whatever.
150,000.
Yeah. So like the idea is like, what is this guy actually like? Where would he be on the progression if that's the case, right? So I could see him being 160 to, I don't know what the normal progression is, 185 to 195, and that kind of lands in there. If they're trying to get him close to 200, maybe.
I don't think I don't know that you have a progression for 200.
Yeah, I mean, well, once you're there, right? But if they're limiting here, they're just basically saying we don't want you going over 200.
Yeah, I think reins are off, but reins have been put on due to circumstance. I think, like I said, if we're winning, they're letting him pitch. They're trying to win games. Not that they're not trying to win games right now. That's not what I'm saying at all. It just doesn't mean as much at the end of the day because we're already that far down.
There were 4 pitchers last year to eclipse 200 innings. And none of them got to 210. So when he says I'm conditioned to go 240, he's being confident, but he's not conditioned to go 240. He's 23 years old. He's got a half a season in the major leagues. He doesn't know what he's conditioned to. I mean, I'm just saying it. Like, you think that's a goal. That's fine. You're not getting to 240. When's the last time somebody got to 240? Pitchers don't pitch like that today. So 240 was just a statement to say, I'm good to go. I think that number in general was arbitrary.
Sure.
I mean,
I think he just pulled it out of the air.
Aaron Nola went 199 and a third. So you can kind of lump him into, there was 5 guys, right? And then there's only 9 that were over 190. George Kirby that went today, 191 last year. I don't know, man. I mean, I'll go back to 23. There were 5 guys that hit 200 innings. And they're all veterans. Well, Zach Allen, maybe a little on the younger side on that. But not Paul Skenes young. There you go. 2022. Sandy Alcantara went 228. Nobody else over 210. But there were 8 guys that year with 200 innings. Bucko Mike Keller, 140, 94 and a third 2 years ago. $213. So in 2021, you only had 4 guys, but that makes a lot of sense considering the fact that it was coming off of 2020.
Yeah.
But it's the same guys. Like, we're essentially looking at a lot of the same guys. Zach Wheeler, Sandy Alcantara. You know what I mean? This one has Adam Wainwright, who was at the end of his career. Walker Buehler, who ended up getting Tommy Johns after this season. So, like, you know what I mean? If they could get him close to 200, I think he's set to just go. But I think that there's probably a conscious idea of saying, we want to stop it at 200. And they don't want to lose him. They don't want to do, like Bucko Mike says, shut down at the end. They don't want to do that.
Right. They want him to pitch the season.
Right. And so if he's going to pitch the full season, then this is what you have to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know what? We talk a lot about innings, and that's important because, you know, you have your ups and things like that, that, you know, they track those with all pitchers. It's not just pitch count. It's also how many times you sat down and got back up and things like that. Like, those are all important. It's stressful innings mean more than a regular inning. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of things.
Every one of Skenes' innings is a stressful inning because he never has run support.
He never has run support, but not only that, but he also is just like, if he misses a spot, he's so disgusted in himself. Like, everything's stressful because the guy is just striving for perfection in every pitch.
Yeah.
And, you know, he gets so, like, he just misses a spot and he turns around. He won't even let Davis throw the ball back to him. He turns his back and puts his head down, kicks some dirt, and then turns around and gets the ball back. And it's like, dude, you always make us all think that you're hurt every time you do that. And all it was like, man, I didn't get enough spin on that. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm okay with it. I would have liked to see him go the 6th. At 78 pitches, there have been other starts where he's been in a much higher pitch count than this, and I'm like, all right, limit that one. But here's my biggest rub, and this is where I think you and I both land. It's nothing. If you're going to take him out of a start early, let's take him out of one. I mean, he's going to have a day off before his next one, so he's got an extra day off, right? They're going to pitch 3 games and have Thursday off, which means he gets to be set back another day and have 5 days rest instead of 4. Maybe that's one. Pick one where he's not going to have that. But also pick one where they're up. So Bucko Mike says last start 95 pitches. And he also points out he's full effort from pitch 1. And that's something, but that's not exclusive to Paul Skenes.
No.
That's everybody right now.
I don't know that he is.
Jake has questions on whether or not he is. I still think he is. I still think he's 100. I mean, he said as much. There is a obvious.
If you just look at his pitching this year, it's clearly different.
Yeah.
He's throwing 97 to 98 consistently. And then when he needs it, he reaches back and throws 100 to 101.
Yeah, he's saving some of the hard bullets, right?
And it's an easy scale, right? Because he throws 100. He's not full effort. He's 97, 98%.
Right.
You know, he's teetering on it for sure. But that's what, you know, that you look at through some of the guys who were healthy, even if it was most of their career, right? Like Verlander wasn't hurt until he was really old. That's what he did. He just threw. You pump 95 to 97, you're still throwing the ball hard.
Yeah.
And he's able to locate it better. And in the 8th inning, when he needs 100, he still has it. I mean, we've seen it time and time again with Verlander. And I compare that a lot because he's another, you know, big guy who threw the ball hard.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look up the stats as we go and see how many pitches over 100 has Paul Skenes thrown this year compared to last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look at the percentage and everything of that, because it is big time different. And I'm going to look it up on the spot right here because it's easy to do for me.
The joys of a live show, right?
Yeah. We've already had a dog issue and now, you know, we go more than this. So we're rolling, man.
Well, I'm sure her throat's clear. I'll tell you that. She ate a whole pack of Halls.
Are you serious?
The biggest noise I heard, she was getting that bag of Halls, which is on like the thing in the kitchen where I put like my daily pills and my vitamins and stuff, and she knocked all of that off
Yeah.
to get to the Halls.
Okay, so he threw 100 pitches over 100 miles an hour last year. Okay, he's thrown 7 this year.
How many starts?
I'm not going to worry about that. I have a total number of
7.
pitches. 2,125 pitches last year. 1,745. Last year, 4.7% of his pitches were over 100 miles. This year, it's 0.4.
Yeah, he's clearly making an adjustment.
But good point here. Bucko Mike says you can share that if you want, because he mentions that he's been kind of mixing in a lot more off speed this year. So I'm gonna go totals, pitch type. I should be sharing this, right? Because I can. So I put in pitch type here, fastball, and I'm on Baseball Savant. So if you're watching on video, you can see how this is happening. My metric range, pitch velocity, greater than or equal to 100. Okay. And then I did total pitch parameters, and you have to include pitch type in here. So it only looks at fastballs for the totals. So he threw 834 fastballs. He's already thrown 792 fastballs this year. This is fastball, sinker, cutter. 12% of those fastballs last year were 100 or more. 0.9% of them this year. So if we take out the off speed, we're still a huge, which by the way, a lot more fastballs, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fastballs this year. I mean, we could just say, take pitch type out of it and take this metric out of it. And just look at how many fastballs he's throwing. He's 45% fastballs this year. Last year, he was 39% fastballs. So actually throwing a lot more fastballs this year when you look at it that way. But velo is down in those, like percentage wise. He's not pumping 100 all the time. Is that real? Last year, he had 46 pitches at 100 miles per hour in one game. Bucko Mike's either exaggerating or wow.
What? Every fastball he threw that game?
This is easy to do. Look, I mean, we can do this, Jake. We can do it on the fly here. I just changed it to player and game and went to last year. We still have fastballs in there. I mean, I can remove that just to catch all pitches. 17 was his most on his first day. His first game, 17 pitches.
Here I am.
16 in June. 12 in his second game. So, yeah, I mean, he was pumping it early. So there you go. There's the numbers. He is saving it, right? He's holding them back a little bit. But I still think there's still full effort right out. Like, the effort is still there, right? He's not taking pitches off.
Yes. But he's just not reaching back in the tank as far.
Sure. I get that.
Which is a good thing. Which is
a good thing. He's trying to get that 200 innings.
Yeah.
And trying
to
not
get
to
the 200 innings, and he's trying not to get the TJ.
Yeah, not to blow his arm out after one season. Yep, I think that's
fair. You saw that with Schwellenbacher for the Braves.
Yeah.
Uptick in velocity. All of a sudden, he broke.
All of a sudden he what?
Elbow. Fractured his elbow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
He upticked this year 3 to 4 mile an hour on his fastball, and he fractured his elbow.
Martin says that
insane.
Skenes mentioned in spring training this year that he cranks it up later in the year, and I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Because they'll have it.
Because they'll have it. He's saving it.
I think there's truth to it, man. And I think it's good.
You're all right, Bucko Mike. You bring a lot of truth to the chat here. We're not mad at you.
Nope.
He said he just read it wrong.
No,
that's fine.
No, you made us look it up.
Yeah. Hey, listen. There's a phrase. Trust but verify. I believed you, but I'm still going to look it up. And I think there's a lot of that too, especially in today's world right now, right, guys? You're going to hear stats. You're going to hear trade rumors. Let's talk about where we're at in the season right now. None of that means it's necessarily true. People can write whatever they want on the internet. It doesn't have to be true.
Right.
Look it up. Figure it out. All right, let's talk about a couple more things. We're going to get back to Skenes eventually. We're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star game. I'm looking at the time here. And I just want to give kudos a little bit. Greensboro Grasshoppers, our high A team, July 4th, Christian Curtis, Jake Schrick, and Michael Walsh combined perfect game. So they went out on the field on
Friday
and threw a combined perfect game on July 4th. Kudos to these guys. First one since 2017 in a 9-inning game in the minor leagues. It is combined. I think that's probably one of the only ways you're going to get there in the minor leagues because it's not about leaving a guy in high A and making sure that he throws his complete game. You know what I mean? It's just not important, but it's a cool thing, man. It's a cool thing to be a part of as a prospect.
Where I think it's an individual thing, it's so impressive to add to do that. It is equally impressive to do it as a team. Because all three of them had to go out and do excellent at their craft.
I agree with you. The last guy had 1 inning to throw. If you can't go perfect 1 inning as a relief pitcher,
it's fine.
I don't know if I'm there. Combined should be easier. That's why I don't count combined no-hitters as no-hitters. Because the bullpen most of the time comes out and gives up no hits. You know what I mean? Like when you only got one run or 1 inning to pitch, most of the time you're not giving up a hit. So perfect is a little bit different, especially because in this case you had one guy throw 6 innings, one guy throw 3 innings. That ain't right. One guy threw 5 innings, one guy threw 3 innings, I think, and then the 1 inning. You know what I mean? So that to me, I think perfect, even 3 innings, even 2 innings for a reliever. I'm buying that.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I was a relief pitcher. I get it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I get it.
That's all I did.
Not just a combined no-hitter, though. Combined no-hitter, though? You're in?
No, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. A lot of love for Jack right now.
Love it.
280, 12 homers right now.
You know what? I'm gonna go on, not a side tangent at all, but I'm gonna go on a little tiny mini tangent. Jack, you're feeling right. Come on back up and don't wear number 65 this time. Wear a different number.
I probably doesn't matter, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, little stitious, a lot of stitious, superstitious, some might say. Yeah. Yeah, there's a yeah, that's funny. It wasn't cool seeing Hannah, Matt Capps, and Joe Block eat grasshoppers. No, I don't want to see that. They were eating those.
Yeah.
The fried. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So little love there. We just want to shout that out, but let's talk about a couple more minor leaguers. Jack, I didn't have planned, but we've got some Jack love in the chat right now. Love that. Cheryl says, I'd love to see Griffin in the Futures game. He's playing in the Futures game along with, the other guy. Gosh, who is it? Somebody help me out in the chat. It's Griffin and somebody else, and for whatever reason, it just left me today.
He's with Grasshoppers.
Martin. Right. Griffin's family told me today at church that they're going to the Futures game. All right.
Okay. Strong flex, bud.
Yeah, that's a nice flex there, Martin.
I like that.
Yeah.
I wish I was going to be there in time for that.
Yeah. Yes. Esmeralyn Valdez. That's it.
That's it.
Thanks.
That's it. Yep.
So yeah. Yeah. You're not going to go to the Futures game. It's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Like they do everything there.
Everything's in Atlanta.
And you're not going to be there. Jake is going to the All. What are you going to?
Well, tickets just dropped in price a lot. So I might end up at both the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game. Might.
Really? Okay.
If not, well, at least, yeah, the tickets are actually cheaper right now for the game than they are the Derby. Whereas up until today, they were cheaper to go to the Derby.
Yeah. I've been to the Derby. I went in Cleveland. The Derby's fantastic. To me, much more of an event than the All-Star game itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close for me.
We're most likely going to go to the Home Run Derby. We're going to go to the Home Run Derby. If we had to pick one, we're going to the Derby.
I think if I was going to a game, I think they'd be equally as exciting. But watching them on TV, the All-Star game is a spring training game. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't do it for me. I watch it, but it's nothing compared to... We're going to get into this. Before we do, because we're going to talk All-Star game a little bit. Before we get into, there's a couple more things I want to bring up. First off, and Shared's already jumping in here, would like to see Hunter Barco get a September call-up. Hunter Barco on Saturday, 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 90 pitches. That's important, right? 55 strikes, but 90 pitches is really important. The day before that, Bubba, who's been struggling, he goes 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks. They've been more than that. 6 strikeouts, 91 pitches. We're starting to see these guys get stretched out to a point that they're beyond. They're starting to get like season highs, right? You know what I'm saying? We're starting to see more of it. And we're starting to see these guys kind of make a turn. I mentioned the week that I went to see both of these guys. Hunter Barco struggled and then came out, changed his shoes before the inning started. It was like a thing. They were like, you got to change your shoes. He changed his shoes. It was like it was just totally different. Like he was really good. The pitches were different. Everything was different. Wasn't hittable. He was in the zone. He was good. And then the rains came and he didn't get to build on that, right? So he ends up with a 3 inning game that didn't look good. And if you're just looking at the box score, but that comes with a 2-hour rain delay, they end up canceling the game. And it doesn't go anymore. So, and then Bubba was, 2 really good innings, solid, everything you want to see, pumping 100. And then all of a sudden the wheels just fell off. He couldn't find the zone. He was close to it, but he wasn't on it. And Columbus was patient. And it was like, this is what was happening to him every start. It's good to see these guys start to make turns. We know that Bubba's ready as far as like the stuff and the talent. You just don't bring him up in the middle of a slump.
Yeah.
And so there's that plus the fact that like, hey, the pitching's doing fine. We have the opportunity to be patient.
Right. Neither one of these guys are going to help us win games right now.
That's right.
They're not going to do anything that our pitchers currently are here. They're not going to do anything they're not doing. Still not going to score runs. We're not scoring runs, period. They don't help us score runs. So we can be patient.
Okay. So let's go to Shared's comment here though.
Yes.
We'd like to see him as a you want to see these guys in the major leagues, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But September is being patient.
Sure.
I feel like both of these guys could make it to the major leagues earlier than that.
Yeah. Well,
we just don't.
It's July.
Force it.
How many of these pitchers? We know Andrew Heaney's likely traded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's without question. Shared says, unless Bubba goes back to 2-way play, he could also like rack up the strikeouts like he was doing in the minor leagues as a hitter.
Yeah.
He was striking out both on the mound and in the batter's box.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, my train of thought. I just blacked out for like a minute. No, it's still really exciting. And that's the whole thing about this team and that's why this is important, because we are in July, because we've heard, I mean, Andrew Heaney, we all know from the time we signed him that we're likely trading him this month.
Yeah.
But now all the talk about Mitch Keller coming through, it's worth it to say, hey, there are guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can make this team better with a deal of Mitch Keller on offense that can help this team, what we're pointing out is there are options. There are guys that could come up and make a difference.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on to the rest of the All-Star game stuff, and we really need to get moving, I have to bring up the O'Neal Cruz throw.
Oh, you have to.
An absolute. We've been waiting for these types of moments from O'Neal Cruz, right? Yeah. We've been waiting for these types of moments from the outfield to see his arm. This was an absolute perfect strike to home. And I thought the umpires did a really good job of getting the call right and explaining the call, because it was challenged after that. And they were trying to get Henry Davis for blocking. And they said, yes, he was straddling the plate. First off, he was going after the ball. I thought you were allowed to go after the ball.
You are.
So he was going after the ball. He was still reaching when he caught that ball, but he was straddling the plate, right? Okay. So they said, yes, he was straddling, but if the base runner slides, he had a clear path to home plate.
Clear path.
And I thought they were just like that. It's not only the fact that there's no obstruction, but it's also a confirmed out. Like this isn't even a stands. This isn't even it's teeter-totter. No, plain as day, perfect strike, tag out. I don't even know if the runner actually touched home, or if that leg was held back by Henry Davis's glove. Dude, in the past, and now that we're 105.2, let's talk Cruz. Let's stay Cruz here, because then I want to pivot to Henry Davis. But let's talk Cruz. 105.2, not the hardest throw ever, hardest throw this season, but Brenton Doyle from the Rockies threw one 105.7. And I think Hicks from the Yankees 105.5. I think those are the two that are more. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Any other comments on
that ball? If he throws that ball 105, he's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it couldn't have been any more perfect. And Sherrod said Davis looked surprised. He even had the ball. What a great play by Davis.
Yeah.
He stood there like there was no throw coming.
He does this a lot.
If he would have been setting up, if he would have been setting up like he's getting ready to take the throw, he slides, he's safe.
Why, though? You have an on-deck hitter who's telling you to slide. Why does it even matter what the catcher's doing?
Was he out there?
I don't know. That's what I guess that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? What was he doing?
Yeah, exactly. But he does this all the time. He'll just act like the ball's not coming, and then just boom, catches it, tags.
And he's catching this ball while the comment about him looking surprised. Yeah, because he was catching this ball as the runner was running into his glove. Like it was simultaneous. Incredible. To hold on to that ball is super impressive.
Yeah.
So I would have been surprised too. But also, Jake, how many times in the past couple of years have we seen plays like that where we're just dropping the ball?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Joey Bart over and over again is dropping the ball on tags. It was even Henry Davis early last year who dropped a couple. We had, I think, one or two plays with Endy where there was a play at the plate and he made the tag and dropped the ball for different things. It's absolutely just a fantastic play by Davis, and another example of the fact that Henry Davis is by far our best defensive catcher in this organization, or that's in the majors anyway. I'm not going to speak for all the catchers that I don't know about.
Sure.
But he has become a very good defensive catcher.
Yeah.
We need that bat to come along, and this guy's going to be even better than we thought. If he flips it, I don't know that you get that feeling, right? Because the bat's more important than the glove in a lot of ways, at least for looking at a player. I think teams might disagree with that. They might think that the glove's more important. I mean, the Pirates kept signing guys like Austin Hedges. They obviously think the glove's more important.
Yeah.
But
But
just
let him start more games. Let him get more reps.
Yeah, we got to get that back going.
Come. It'll come.
Just an incredible play. Martin says the best throw I've seen watching Pirates baseball was the Jose Guillen against the Rockies. Jake and I were just talking about this before we went on, before we hit record or before we went live, because we were basically saying like, where does this rank? Like 105 goes a long way. Getting the out in a scoreless game goes a long way, but like the throw was perfect. So as far as anyone else being in that position and throwing a ball, it has to be one of the best throws you've seen because it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other throws that happen further away. The Jose Guillen throw is the greatest throw I've ever seen in Colorado. I mean, it is the greatest throw I've ever seen. And now you can watch video of like the throws that Clemente made, and most of those are impressive because the runners already knew I'm not running on him. And they're guys that like, there were throws that were made by Clemente where it was like, oh, well, that one he was safe, but the throw was still incredible. Or the one where he threw home and it's like, they didn't even run and they should have scored on that. And it was an amazing throw. And you know what I mean? There was things like that, but probably the quantity of throws from Clemente, right?
Yeah.
was probably going to top just about anybody.
Yeah.
But that throw by Jose Guillen, and Jose Guillen had a great arm. It's not like it came out of nowhere. Like that was his thing. Probably his main thing.
Yeah.
But that throw was unreal.
There were throws I remember seeing growing up too. Like I don't remember exact instances, but I know multiple throws from Larry Walker. You know, used to being a big Larry Walker fan. Ichiro
had some fantastic throws.
That one he threw, I don't remember who he threw out at third, but it was just stupid from right field. Just stupid.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Bo Jackson, there's some throws of Bo Jackson that go around that you're just like, that has to be doctored. It just doesn't feel like it's humanly possible. And you know what I mean? And that's what you're seeing right now from O'Neal Cruz. 105.
It's just insane. Insane.
Kudos to you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Miles says, now I have to watch Bo Jackson highlights. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, it's worth it. All right.
Watch him throw Harold Reynolds out.
So we'll probably... Do we have another show before the All-Star break? No. We have one more next week. So we've got some things to talk about.
You do. I will probably be traveling to the All-Star
good point.
Game.
All right. That's a good point.
So I probably will not be here next week.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. So, see there, Rob's saying some Mariners had some really cool plays. It is interesting because, just played the Mariners. And if you listen to The Daily Show, I mentioned before that I've kind of had because I was a Griffey guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do. I like the Mariners in a way. So... because of Griffey.
Not this past weekend.
Just not this weekend. I mean, he doesn't play for him anymore. King Felix was awesome. I loved King Felix. So there's been some players for the Mariners that I've liked over the years. Anyway, maybe that's going to be Big Dumper now. I don't know. All right, so let's talk briefly because we're running out of time here, but I think that there's some important things. Skenes going to the All-Star game again. Got to give him his claps for that. According to Kevin Gorman on Twitter, he's the first Pirates pitcher to be selected in his first 2 seasons. My question for you, does he start? And if not, who does?
I would love to sit here. What Zach Wheeler did today may have earned him the nod.
Okay.
I don't know.
He's also due to pitch on
I don't
Saturday.
think so.
So do the Pirates not have him pitch on Saturday or have him throw 3 innings to allow him the opportunity to do this if they want him to? And would you agree with that decision? Let's say they approach him and say, we want you to start. And he goes to the Pirates and say, they want me to start, but you're due to pitch at 2:00 in Minnesota on Saturday. Now, with the day off and the fact that he just threw 78 pitches, he could go Friday. Where do you go? I mean, he's only throwing 1 inning anyway.
Yeah.
What's his regular bullpen? If he starts there, he's got 2 days off. If he starts on Friday, he's got 3 days off before that. What's your regular bullpen on your 4th day? I mean, do you throw an inning? He could throw an inning. If they start him on Friday, he could throw an inning.
Yeah. But I don't think he'll start. I think they'll give it to somebody else. I think the way that everything is now, I think they want people to get their shot. Like, you started one.
Has Zach Wheeler started one?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
If he has, somebody's getting their second one. Who else? Who else? That's fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fun to think about. I don't know. Clayton Kershaw.
I would love to see it. I would love to see him get the start.
I don't know, man. I mean, the thing about him is he's a legend and he's had it. He's had the opportunity to do that. Unless he hasn't, then let him do it.
Dude, that is the pitcher nod of equivalence of Cal Ripken Jr. getting his last and hitting a home run in his last All-Star game.
Yeah, but what if he just gives up a home run? It's just going to feel like, we just kind of did this. And
yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, I had some points about some guys that aren't in the All-Star game. And how about a guy with a 904 OPS, 21 homers, 51 RBIs, 10 for 11 on stolen bases? How about a guy like that not being on the All-Star team?
He's not on it at all.
He's not on it at all. Leads the league in walks, leads the NL outfielders in runs, on-base percentage, second in homers, and second in OPS outfielders, not on the roster. That's Juan Soto, is not an All-Star.
That doesn't mean what he thinks it means.
I love that you're just happy about that.
I think it's hilarious.
How about this one? A guy hitting 299, 351 on base, 18 doubles, 22 steals. He has 109 hits, the most in the NL. Only Aaron Judge has more hits. He leads NL shortstops in hits, stolen bases, tied with doubles, leads in average, second or third in most of the other categories. Trey Turner's not on the All-Star roster.
That's ridiculous.
It's just crazy. Like, the All-Star game doesn't mean anything because we're putting weird people on the team. I don't know both of those guys, Jake, are in big markets. How did they not get in? It's not even like a player vote thing where they like. I will say to Soto, it pays not to be not liked. A little double negative there. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, being liked gets you in, but being disliked might keep you out.
Yeah.
All right, last thing I got for you, Jake. The Home Run Derby is coming up a week from tomorrow. I don't think we have the full roster. If they ask O'Neal Cruz,
have like 3 people.
I think there's okay. I thought there was maybe a little more than that, but maybe not.
The only ones I know are
I
Cal
talked
Raleigh.
about. Okay,
I know Ellie turned it down.
Ellie did turn it down.
Said no. Acuna and there was one more that just said that they'd do it. No, I can't think of who it is, but either way, I've only seen 3 names. Oh, James Wood.
James Wood, yeah, which is like, this is a big deal, right? You start to say, oh, we got another big tall guy in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about O'Neal? I talked about this on one of the weekly shows, so I care the most for you. would you want him in and then would you want to see it? And do you care about what it does to his swing or if it does anything?
I don't think it's going to do anything to his swing. It's just what he does in BP.
Right.
It's 470-foot bombs. Sign him up.
So the thing is, the way they do it now, though, do we even get to see the 470-foot bombs? Or are they just trying to go really fast?
Even if they are, he hits the ball 120 miles an hour, it's going to land in plenty of time.
Not when you have to swing over and over and over and over and over again. They usually say, if I can make it 20 feet over the fence, I'm fine.
Right. He's going to hit 115 mile an hour laser. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter anymore because they don't wait till it lands anyway.
That's true. Well, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about what the players aren't hitting those tape measure shots much anymore in the home run derby because they're going for speed.
Yeah, I think he still would.
Yeah.
It's effortless. He flicks the ball 450.
Yeah.
In BP. How many times in his short career have we been like, man, he missed it. And it goes out.
Yeah.
In a game.
And those are real pitches too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just wild. Sign him up. I'll be there. I want to see it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Especially because you'll be there. I got to see Josh Bell.
Ashley's got her guy. I want mine.
Yeah, which, by the way, I think I'm done with that. What's he doing? Why is he in it? Why is Acuna in it?
Because it's a fan vote. Or why is he in the home run derby?
The home run derby.
Because he's in Atlanta?
Oh, because they have to get somebody.
They don't have to, but...
No, I think they've got to have a hometown guy. Is he the guy, though? Who's leading their team?
Yeah. Well, if you go by like percentages of home runs per at bat, it's by leaps and bounds him. He's only played 30 games. He's got 9 home runs.
I just hate
He's
seeing
batting
that.
like 330.
Welcome to the home run derby. This guy has 9 home runs this year. And you're like, oh. I mean, I know everybody knows who Acuna is, but...
Right.
Let's get some new blood in there, man. How many times are you going to do it and not win?
Ooh.
Yeah.
He won't win this year either.
No, he won't win. I mean, he could win, but he won't. There are better guys out there for this.
Yeah, maybe they did ask around the clubhouse and he's the only one that wanted to do it.
Maybe. It's his kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Austin Riley ain't going to do it.
Why not?
Because he don't want up the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
He likes to do his thing behind the scenes. Like, not behind the scenes, obviously, it's on the field, but you know what I mean? He don't want it. He don't want the recognition. And he's having a down year.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say here, because we didn't talk about it, and we should, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to make sure that I talk about it a little bit this week. Since you're going to be out next week anyway, we're not going to get to this before some things are done. But here's some Ben Sherrington quotes about trades to leave you guys with. Something to think about, something that I'm going to try to talk about this week. Okay? You have to be honest about where you are now and recognize we're not like a win or two away from being where we want to be. We're more than that. If you're more than that, then you have to be pretty open-minded about the things that have to happen to get where you want to be and get there as fast as we can. At least put ourselves in a position where we have a chance to do that. So he said wants to be really open-minded about opportunities, but still he wants to make sure we're not just doing stuff to do stuff.
That's key.
It is. And a lot of this is, he's going to say the same thing every year and stuff like that. But at the same time, dude, you've got like, if you look over the history of like his trades and some of the moves that he's made and some of the things that he's done, it's hard to see. It's easy to think he's done nothing. But you look back and there are some valuable moves that he's made. But none of them are impact moves. None of them are, and we remember the things like Rowdy and Tommy Pham. And you know what I mean? Guys like that who are like, yeah, he did this. But there are some things that's like, oh, wait, there's some value there. Oh, this guy came in that trade. That's pretty good trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of them have been impacts, like major impact moves like you want to see. I mean, you could say that if you're a bullpen guy, you could say, well, what about the Santana trade? You know what I mean? You brought in a guy who's nails in the back end, and okay. But to me, it's like, no, what have you done on offense? What have you done to make this team score runs? Like, Spencer Horwitz is a fine player. I don't dislike him. He's not a needle mover. He's a supporting cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that Nick Gonzalez, that's a draft, not a trade, but Nick Gonzalez is like fringe between supporting player and impact player. You know what I'm saying? He has the potential to make more of him, but essentially he's not going to be your superstar.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz hasn't made that happen yet. That's not Ben Sherrington's move. I'm just saying. So you need more guys like that. You need more guys that can be impact bats. You have the pitching depth. So
Shoot, one of our most impactful bats on the team right now is a Bob Nutting move. Bring Kutch back.
I mean, you could say Brian Reynolds, right? I mean, the news that kind of came out over that was that he insisted that they extend him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it looked like a deal wasn't, remember they always signed before the season, and he signed after the start because it seemed like they got to a place where they couldn't sign him. And then Bob Nutting came in and said, no, you will.
Dang it, Bobby.
No, I'm kidding. He's a good player. And I'm just kidding. But yeah, Martin says I would trade all the Reynolds. I think that's easy, but there are some conversations around that I'm going to talk about this week. And I'll ask Jake again if he's got a day to jump on a daily show. Let's pick one of these things. And maybe you can come on one of the dailies this week if you have time. We don't have to talk about it now, but I'm always trying to get him on there. And if I say it live, there's a little bit of pressure. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Do you have anything else? I mean, obviously, the Pirates haven't scored in a few days.
Yeah. I answered a North Shore 9. It was like over under 1.5 runs today. And I was like, over. Because I was thinking, we're going to break out today. We're not going scoreless 3 straight games. Dude, I was so frustrated. I'm just ready for a real bat to support.
And once again,
you have 3 bats in the lineup that can do damage.
Yeah.
Right now, legitimate damage. They're not doing as much damage as you'd like. If we can extend that to 5, you're in a much better shape. Those 3 start to do better because they got 2 extra ones as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I mean, George Kirby, though. Filthy. We talked about anytime you're facing Skenes, your A game is there. You step it up a notch as the opposing pitcher. And his last 2 starts, he was really good. He's been due for this. He hasn't had a game where he gave up nothing yet. This was only his 9th start of the season. He's given up at least 1 run every other outing, but his last 2 outings were the first 2 that he only gave up 1 run. So like the ERA looks like one thing, but this guy's a different pitcher than what that ERA looks like. He looks more like the guy we saw today.
Yeah.
All right. Playing some music. Let's get out of here.
I'll bring my little stick. Do some damage.
Yeah. We got the Royals for the next 3 days, next 3 nights. They don't score runs either, but they pitch really well. Just whoever puts up 3 runs first might have a chance to win each of these games. I don't know.
3 runs in the series?
No, in each game. I'm being positive here. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. Remember, there's shows all week. Let's go, Bucks.
Let's go, Bucks.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucks.